Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at AGIX. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. Previously, what we were talking about was the possibility of a WX and a Y here, and we were looking for this as a possible fourth wave. And what this is looking to do is actually maintain this zone here of this 1569 at the lowest that I want to see it come. Now, we do have some other interesting areas here. The 0.382 as a retracement would be here at this 2211. So what we're looking for is basically for support to come in this zone. And that would be looking at this possibility that with this count here, we are looking at this as a fourth wave, looking for a continuation to the upside and looking for this fifth wave to come in towards the zone of this $1.14 to this 82 cents. So this is looking for an additional push to the upside here in a 5-wave sequence. We do also have a bearish alternative, so we need to just be aware of that. We're going to discuss that within the video. We're going to cover this bullish count first, and then we're going to look at that bearish alternative. Okay, so now let's get into the subwave counting here. So what I'm looking for within this structure here is basically treating this as a W, this is an X, and then looking for a Y wave to the downside. Now, what we need to be careful of here is if we drop down deep enough, we need to be careful that we don't actually have this move over here as an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We're going to go over that within the bearish count. And also the fact that we can potentially count this as another 1, 2 here, that once again is in the bearish count. So we're going to just discuss this move to the downside now and what we'd want to see if we are looking for the potential to have a turnaround here. So now, the way I'm looking at this is that I still think that we have an additional leg to the downside here in a fifth wave. Now, the invalidation of this would actually be by moving back up here towards this 3288. And really, for as long as we stay below this 2894, I'm going to be continuing to look for that possibility of a fifth wave to the downside. Now, there is the potential that we could actually look to turn around from this point, but the count, like I said, is indicating to me that there should be another drop to this, and that drop should actually look to take us towards this zone of this 02188 to this 20 cent 42. Now, this will be looking for a fifth wave, and I want to see this play out in a 5-wave drop. Now, the way that this could actually be playing out here, looking at this structure, is we could actually have something here like a triangle. So I'm just going to throw that count onto here. And what I'd be looking for here is that effectively within the structure, we could have this as A, B, C, looking for a D wave here, and then possibly already completed and looking for this E wave to the upside. Now, what I want to see here, if this is the case, is I'd want to see this move potentially play out like this: A, B, and C. So that this 1-to-1 would actually be here towards this 24.99, 1.618, which would be higher up. I wouldn't really want to see it get to this level, but technically it's possible. As a C wave, we could see a move up to 1.618. But what I want to see, particularly around this area here, because this also ties in with the 0.618 retracement, if we do get a move to the upside here, I'd be looking out for that possibility that we actually get a move up here, and this is A, B, C, and then we could actually look to break back down. Now, confirmation of this would actually come by having a bigger move to the downside and taking this B wave low, which is sitting here at this 2662 area. Now, if we do get a move like this play out, and we're actually looking to break down one more time here, what we would be looking for then is that possibility of this move breaking down and bringing us into this target range here of this 2188 to this 20 cent 42. So this will be our zone we're looking for. Now, there's a key thing within this. The 1.236 of the Y wave would be down here towards this 20 cent 64. So that's also a little bit of confluence in this zone, as well as that this is a 1.618 of the A wave, which is over here. So A, B, and C. This 1.618 is also sitting here towards this 21 cent range. So if we do get a move down here, there is quite a lot of confluence here. We do also have the channel here, obviously. So that would be something that we just need to keep an eye on if we do actually look to move down lower here. We also do have, just above this area towards this 2180, we've got the high end of this move here. And then really, I wouldn't want to see it lose this lower level of this move. A wick down there would be fine, but if we start to consolidate below that, it becomes less likely we're going to see continuation to the upside. So this is what I'm looking for primarily. I want to see whether we actually get this additional drop to the downside here. Now, it is possible that we could actually just have a more complex structure within this, where instead of looking at it in the way that I'm looking at it, this could also just be This could be something like this, where this is W, we get an X wave here, and then we get a push to the upside for a Y wave. So we need to bear in mind that that is still also a possibility, because the triangle, it hasn't confirmed yet. That would actually be looking for like a 1-to-1 up here towards this 27.11. Now, it would make a lot more sense for me that we get a triangle here, but we'll have to see how it plays out, because fourth waves can also just be more complex moves, and we could actually see a push up towards this 27.37 area if it does come back as a 0.382 retracement. So this is what I want to see here, whether we get an additional leg to the upside here, whether we get to this 1-to-1, or whether we stay within those parameters of that triangle and fail to actually break back above this 26.16. Breaking above that would invalidate the triangle. And what I want to see is this additional 5-wave move to the downside. This 5-wave move could end the sequence and could put us in a situation where we're starting to look to reverse. Now, one thing I am just being mindful of, because of how deep we've already come and we're sort of within that zone already, I've had a look at this, and I was looking at the possibility whether we could be wrong and there could be a breakout here. Now, the only way that I could see it, given the current structure here, is that we'd have to argue this was 1-2. This would be another 1-2 here, and then we'd be starting to move up in a bigger way. Now, confirmation of this count would only come by actually crossing this 28.47. So if we do start to move up in a bigger way here, what we could actually get is a 5-wave structure, which looks to move towards this 28.47. Then look for an additional 4th wave move to the downside, then another 5-wave move, which would look to actually bring us towards this zone of this 29.64 to this 28.92. A break up into these higher ranges here would indicate that we have some extension. So then we would have to count this additional structure here as another 1-2. So this could actually lead us to a push to the upside, which could take us towards this 30.87 to this 29.83 as a 5th wave. Now, this would then put us in that situation where we could actually have this as a wave 1. Then we'd be looking for a wave 2 to the downside. So pretty much the whole idea within this count here is we wouldn't want to lose this 23.147. Losing 23.147 basically invalidates this potential, and then we would have to look for that continuation to the downside in that bearish move. Now, what we need to be careful of is if we are looking at this in a different way, and I'm actually going to come back here onto the daily and just sort this out. Now, because of the fact that the structure here to the upside is a bit strange within this section, we need to just be careful that this whole move is not a B wave, that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sequence here is just part of a bigger A, B, and a C. Now, if we break down and actually cross this low here, which is sitting at this 9.84, it would invalidate that idea of that 5th wave. So we need to bear that in mind. That is still a possibility that this whole move to the upside could just be a B wave, and then we could actually see continuation to the downside in a C wave. Now, that C wave could, technically speaking, take us all the way down to this 0338 area as a C wave. We need to be aware that that is still a possibility just within this count. Now, because of the fact we're looking for that possibility of a bigger breakdown here, what we could also have is we could be forming a bigger 5-wave move where this becomes 1, this becomes 2 as a flat, and then we're actually breaking down in a bigger way. So now if we come into the internals here, I'm going to discuss a couple of things, and this is why we need to be careful within this structure, that if we do move down deep enough here towards this zone of this blue 1618, this would then allow for the fact that we have this as a 1 and a 2. So this would be sitting here towards this zone of this 1921. Now, we already have moved down deep enough to allow for the fact that this could be a 1-2. So we need to be careful of the fact that, we could still see a continuation here. Now, within this, I'm looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm looking for a 5th wave off the back of this. So once again, that target area is going to remain the same. This 27.35 to this 24.87. We have already come into this zone. So what I want to see is whether we continue to face rejection here, or whether we actually look to break down. Like I said, same ideas. The triangle idea can still work here as a 4th wave. Alternatively, as a 1-to-1, we could see that move up towards the top end of this, which would be that 27.35. So this actually looks at the move slightly different, to be fair. This 4th wave is a different 4th wave than the other one. So now, if this is the case and we actually get a breakdown one more time here into this zone here of this 2204 to this 2091, what we could then see is this additional white count from back here, where this is now another 1, 2. We could see this actually break down even deeper. So we need to be careful if we do break down into this lower range here. What this could indicate is we could see this white fourth wave back to the upside here, and then have an additional fifth wave to the downside, which could look to take us towards this 20 cent 22 to this 1867. Moving down towards this zone would actually indicate that we have a 5-wave structure completed, and we would have to then be on the lookout for the possibility of this blue fourth wave. Now, this blue fourth wave, technically speaking, could move up as high as this 3373 to this 2507. But this higher range here, what we would not want to do is cross this wave 1 over here. So we need to be careful that if we do continue to extend out to the downside here, we could actually be looking for a move that looks to complete towards this 1737. Now, 1737 to this 1474. This would still put us within the range of this previous structure here, but the problem would be is that if we have a 5-wave sequence from the top here, we would have to treat this as an A wave. So this would mean that what we would see is we'd see this move to the downside, we'd see another 3-wave move back to the upside, possibly coming back and retesting the lower edge of this, and then we'd be looking for a continuation again to the downside. So this could either then become 1, 2, and then we'd get a bigger third wave, or this could be A, B, and C, and that in itself could be a completed correction into this low, or this could then become a bigger A wave, and then we could still look to actually form a structure which comes down deeper here and looks to target out this 0363. So it's going to be important to see how we react off of these levels. I am still anticipating within both these counts at least another drop to the downside, and what we need to be aware of is that if we drop down deep enough and we cross this range of this 2126, what we could then see is continuation in this white count that we have here, looking for this as a fourth wave again to the upside and an additional fifth wave, which could look to take us towards this 2022 to this 1867. So it's going to be very important if we do break down here one more time in a 5-wave sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we see 3 waves back to the upside, we need to be careful of that. That could be just an early warning for the fact we still have this additional fourth and a fifth. And really, unless we move up higher, it will not invalidate that possibility. Once we cross this 2126, we'd have to move up substantially higher to this 3878 for an invalidation of that. So it'll be important to see what structure we get here. This will be the first indication of whether our count is right. If we see a 3-wave move to the upside, it would imply we have further downside. If we see a 5-wave move to the upside, rather, this could actually imply that, we're going to see a bigger move up here. But just having a single 5-wave move is not enough. What we'd want to see is this 3-wave move come back down and then look to progress up past that 1.618 and continue the trend in that manner. That's what we want to see from a bullish standpoint. Like I said, there is potential that we could see a bullish breakout from here, but it just wouldn't really make sense within the count. It would have completed really in the middle of nowhere. But we're already come down towards the key levels, so we just need to be aware of these things. Sometimes these things can happen, and where I'm counting this as a 5-wave move here, possibly we could have some other kind of strange shape going on here, where this is ABC into here, and then we have some kind of connector wave here, and then we just have an A, B, and a C, and it's done, and then it moves away. Though this is not my favorite interpretation of it. You can't rule these sorts of things out. We need to wait for that confirmation by getting this fourth wave and the additional fifth wave down. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.